Our top focus on a massive public blow to the highest office of India's premier investigation agency, the CBI. Its director, Ranjit Sinha, has been ordered to recuse himself from the 1.67 lakh crore 2G scam investigation. In the unprecedented order, just 12 days before he was due to retire, the Supreme Court has ordered Ranjit Sinha not to interfere with the 2G probe, in effect putting a question mark over his capacity to lead the investigation in a fair manner. Never before has a CBI director been ordered off a high-profile investigation in this manner. While the Supreme Court did not flesh out its reasons, it did make it clear that information submitted about the manner in which Ranjit Sinha had met 2G accused at his official residence, detailed here on Headlines Today as part of the Guestgate story, was credible as well as acceptable. In addition, the court said that the second senior most officer in the CBI could now lead that probe. The bomb originally dropped on the CBI chief when senior lawyer Prashant Bhushan accused the CBI director of improperly meeting telecom executives accused of criminal conspiracy in the now notorious 2G auction. The blow is Sinha just 12 days before he's due to hang up his boots, and this is a devastating one. The question now is if he will retire on schedule or quit under a cloud.
Today the Supreme Court heard the Centre for Public Interest Litigation's application for asking the CBI director not to interfere with the 2G investigation or the trial on account of his various actions by which he has tried to help the accused, including the fact that he had met many of the accused persons at his residence, as his residence diary shows. In this case, today the court heard the submissions of the special public prosecutor who had been asked to look into all the applications, replies, files, notings, and then give a report to the court.
That's very sad. That's very sad. That's very unfortunate. No, differences can arise about the approach to any particular investigation, but that's all prescribed. See, people can offer their comments on the file itself, giving the reasons, and then the senior officers can always disagree on giving the reasons for disagreement. So I wouldn't call it as inciting. I would call it infight, but if it is infight is very, very sad. I am sorry to see this sordid state of affairs. I am only hurt and pained and sad. I do hope things get set right, because still CBI is the most dependable agency for complicated investigations by the government, by the court. So that should enjoy the highest credibility and trust of the nation and the highest.
All right, we also have Mr. R.K. Raghavan joining me on the phone. And Mr. Raghavan, thank you so much for speaking with Headlines today. What do you make of the Supreme Court's direction today?
Yeah, it's a landmark order, which will, I think, dictate the destiny of the future of the organization. I think it's a very good order. It's a most welcome order. I welcome it.
But sir, wouldn't you say this is the biggest credibility crisis now that the CBI is facing?
No, you have to remember that this is an indictment of an officer and not of the organization per se. So,
but he leads that organization, sir.
Yeah, I don't think the organization itself suffered a blow. It's individual. So I think it may not have an occasion. The Supreme Court may not have an occasion to pass such an order in the future. May not. I'm only conjecturing, because future directors will learn from this error in judgment, or I don't know what exactly it is to call Sinha's actions with regard to the stand. So I think it's a good order. It's good for the organization. It may suffer a temporary loss of image, but overall, in future, this will only help the CBI to do what is right and stay away from what is wrong.
Mr. Raghavan, on moral grounds, do you think that Mr. Ranjit Sinha should step down before his term comes to an end on the 2nd of December?
No, that's his decision. I mean, he has to make up his mind and decide whether he'll stay on or he'll quit straight away. I do not think it is fair on my part to comment as to what he will do.
Also, Mr. Raghavan, how do you see the case going from here on? Because we are being told that the next in line in CBI is to take over the probe. But would this mean a delay in the 2G probe?
No, I think it actually depends on what stage the case is now and what advantage which the defense may take out of this episode. We'll have to wait and see. But it is I think even if there is a break, even if there is a slight delay, it will be only for a short spell. I think the whole thing will go back on rail because it had been derailed for a while because of this allegation. Now I think it will be on rail and it will proceed further with probably a slight delay.
All right, Mr. R.K. Raghavan, thank you so much for speaking with Headlines Today there. That was the former CBI director speaking with Headlines Today. Also earlier, Justice retired R.S. Sodhi, former Delhi High Court judge, spoke to us. Here's what he had to say.
Mr. Sinha's credibility is pretty low in the eyes of the Supreme Court, and that he has been directed to keep away totally obviously shows that to some extent the allegations which were made against him are sticking. I should think the Supreme Court has been quite normal in the circumstances to ensure that justice does not suffer in any manner merely because an official of the CBI who is high-ranking is in a position to scutter.
Well, that's right. Indeed, it's a big setback for the CBI. Its chief has been asked to recuse himself from the investigation of particularly such a high-profile case. So it raises a question mark on the functioning of the CBI director. There could be differences as far as investigation is concerned, but then here the question is of integrity. Now, we have not so far been able to explain clearly as to the allegations which have been leveled against him. And now that the Supreme Court has asked him to stay away from the investigation, certainly it is a big blow for his image itself. It would be better, so far he has not reacted, and if he does, I think his reaction will be quite measured, since the direction has come from none other than the apex court.
All right, Arthur, we'll keep coming back to you for more, but also let's just tell our viewers that earlier the split within the CBI widened in the Guestgate trial. The CBI took strong exception to stand by its own director, who told the court that one of its senior officials acted as a mole. CBI Director Ranjit Sinha's lawyer had earlier told the Supreme Court that DIG Santosh Rastogi acted as a mole for the petitioner Prashant Bhushan. But today the CBI counsel Venugopal objected to the stand. DIG Rastogi is in charge of the 2G scam probe. The Supreme Court may now ask the CBI chief Ranjit Sinha to file an affidavit if he stands by his allegations. The Supreme Court also told Sinha's lawyer that he should not have named the DIG Rastogi as the alleged mole. The court maintained that he should have simply said that an insider from the CBI is passing on information. Also, the Supreme Court bench hearing the Guestgate case involving CBI chief Ranjit Sinha has meanwhile pulled up CBI officials.